Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm so excited to start this journey with you. Welcome to Reset for Radiance. I am honored to spend the next 5 days with you together as we begin to invite in a really deep and true reset for our minds, our bodies, and our souls, and to really allow that inner radiance that's waiting to come out of each of us to be completely and fully expressed. For those of you that don't know, my name is Stacy Barber. If you don't know me personally, welcome. In a perfect world in person, I would give you a big hug. I am a lover. I see the true beauty in each and every individual that I have been honored to meet. And I am just so happy to have you here with me. For those of you that do know me, welcome. Welcome back, sister. Good to have you here. And I just want to share a little bit about what it is that I know is my heart's calling, my life's mission, because I think it's really important to sort of set the stage there to help you understand why it is that I'm bringing this training and what it is that I feel so deeply drawn to in my life. And it's really to walk alongside other sisters, other women, other friends to help illuminate their inner truth and worth, to help them see what's possible and readily available for them each and every day, each and every turn of their life, to see what it is that's possible for them and their lives, and to come back home to themselves, the true essence of who they are. And I like to think about for myself, it's the soul of the little girl that still lives inside of each and every one of us, remembering her, like honoring her, holding her so dear because she's still there. She still lives within our hearts, within our souls, and she's helping guide us each step of the way of our lives. So allowing her to really show us what it is that we need to see, with that, when we can turn down the external noise of the outside world and come back home to ourselves, what is it that our soul is yearning for? Really remembering her innocence, her freedom, her grace, and her resilience. Really remembering like who she is, who she knew she was before the world told her differently. Radiating from the soul of who you truly are, that little girl inside of you. That's my mission in life. And in the next 5 days that we spend together, I really want to help you reconnect back with that so that we can start to peel back the layers of parts of our lives that we might have inherited or picked up subconsciously or unconsciously, that we might have decided was our truth, when deep down, on a deep level, we know that that's not really ours. And that is what has really changed my life. And I share this training as a roadmap and a guide, as an example of the road that I've personally taken for my recovery, for my remembrance, and for my personal healing. And so it's my prayer that through witnessing that and through feeling that, knowing the transformational power of this work, that you can begin to allow that in for yourself. I know the power of this because I have lived it firsthand and experienced it in my life, and have made a commitment to myself to continue to do this each and every day. So as we begin to enter into these learnings, some ideas and truths together, some that might be new, and some that might be just a remembrance, right? Something that you've known on such a deep level that is your truth, but it's coming back to that. So what I ask for each of us is to just simply commit to yourself, to fully show up and to see what's possible. Because what I know for myself and anyone else, what we're willing to invest, what we're willing to, the time and energy that we're willing to put into something, that's what we get back. So I just ask that you invest in yourself fully here for 5 days, for about 20 to 30 minutes a day, just to be with yourself, to allow what's coming in to float through inward, and to start to allow that to cultivate a new way of being for yourself. So that's my prayer for you, to just really show up and allow you to to be able to come and be with yourself. I have made this so that a video training will come into your inbox each morning. Once that's there, you can watch it at any time throughout the day that really resonates with you. I would say a time that might be a little bit more quiet so that you can really zone in and allow yourself to receive all that's coming through. I know we're all busy. If that means driving in the car, so be it, right? Like, I just want you to allow this to work for you. So the videos that will be coming through, I'm going to try and make them about 20 to 30 minutes at most, so that it's something that you can dive into, be in the moment when it's there, and then be able to really integrate it throughout the day. And I'm going to stock it full of all kinds of great tips, tools, mindset strategies that really start to reset and begin to go to the deep levels of our mind and our being, so that your entire system can be set up for radiance. And so I like to think that the inner and the outer world start to work together, right? We start to cultivate that cohesiveness. So for day one, here we are. Welcome, welcome. The first step of any type of change or transformation in our lives, it really takes awareness. Day one is all about awareness, and really removing the veil. And I really want to start here because I know that this is the key. It is the key to begin to kind of take the top off and look underneath, right? Begin to start to open our eyes to what may or may not have been there, open our eyes and our hearts to what it is that's calling us forward, bringing our attention and focus to the present to see exactly what's going on in the now. And I've been reading this really beautiful book. I recommend it for anyone that is on this journey of healing. It is actually called The Inner Work, and it is by Matt and Ash. And I'm going to be referencing some things that have really resonated with me so deeply from this. And a quote that I love from the book that starts to kind of get us prepared for this time together. And it's from Joseph Campbell. And it says, "The hero's journey is inside of you. Tear off the veils and open the mystery of yourself," right? That's what we're going to do together. We're going to start to pull back the layers, the things that we have really brought in and on to support and protect ourselves in times in our lives when we really needed it, to allow that to start to dissipate and heal, so that we can start to get back to the core of who we really are. And for many of us, that is a mystery, because we have moved so far from that in so many aspects of our lives. And what I know to be true, and is such a beautiful truth, is that we all hold our own happiness, joy, peace, contentment, and ease in our own hands. And I feel, especially for women in the world, we have been taught it to start to give that power outward beyond ourselves, to seek the mate or the partner that will bring us happiness, to cultivate the career or lifestyle that will bring us happiness, to have the children, to be the mom, all the things that we're told in life that are going to bring us this sense of joy and happiness. And sometimes when we arrive there, we're still there. We're still searching for what it is that we were really looking for. Because the truth is that none of that, none of the things outside of us can give us that true sense of lasting joy and inner peace. Only we can. And that is a day-to-day choice that we have within ourselves to be able to make for ourselves. So this is what we're going to be talking about. Like, how can we start to take ownership for how we feel, how we show up, and how can that start to cultivate a different life for ourselves that helps you naturally exude radiance and joy. So I'm really excited. I know at first this can feel, it can feel like a lot. And I know it can almost feel terrifying and a huge responsibility of taking this back, because for so long we've sort of handed it out. It's like a free meal ticket that we're handing out, right? But when we deeply realize that we are the only ones that can give these gifts to ourselves, and begin to take that back into our lives, we truly take the power back. And I want you to really start to feel that in this moment, in the moment now. I just want you to start to really start to begin to allow these ideas to just marinate a bit. Just let them start to let you get curious. And so, knowing that only when you can realize the truth of who you are, can you become your true self. And the first step in becoming totally honest is becoming totally honest and aware of what it is that's holding us back from experience our birthright and our truth. What is it that we may have picked up from our parents or mentors or anything or anyone in our childhood that might have started to forge a path in our thinking and our belief patterns that we have up until this point taken on as ours. What we know about neuropsychology is that everything that we heard, learned, felt, were around, witnessed up into the age of about 7 to 8 years old, we were like little sponges at that point. So we took all of that in as our truth. All of those thoughts, all of those feelings, they became ours because we didn't know better. Our brain was not fully developed. And so what we did is we allowed all of that to come in as our truth. And now we're taking the opportunities to start to step back, to look through a lens that's a bit wider, right? To look through a wet lens that's giving us the full picture so that we can start to take the panoramic view of our life and really start to bring light to what it is that's ours and what it is that's not ours, what it is that we have subconsciously chosen and what we choose to move forward with from this point on. For some, it may be difficult emotions that are harbored inside that are holding us back. Others, it might be the constant commentary, right? The monkey mind that's reminding us of all of the things that has happened in the past, all of the things that we believe, all of the ways that we've let ourselves down, all of the quote unquote failures that we thought might have happened in our lives, that mind that's on the hamster wheel. Others, it may be deep grief, the loss of someone that we loved, getting stuck in the emotion of that, anger, judgment towards another. And for some, it may just simply come down to the realization and the uncovering of deep feelings of unworthiness and shame. And we're going to go there. Like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start to bring these feelings and these emotions to the light. We're going to start to nurture and allow them to be there and help them teach us what it is that we need to heal and see within ourselves so that we can start to move through. So whatever it is, whatever you discover, I just please ask that you be gentle with yourself. Really bring on an extra dose of compassion through this process, one that you would provide a young child. I want you to embrace all of the qualities that make you human, because all of the things that we're going to discuss is what makes us who we are. And the beautiful part about being human, being part of this experience, is that we also have free will. We have choice, right? I talk so often about the power of choice. The power of choice in our lives can change our lives. And I want you to start to really take the helm of your ship back for yourself, of what it is that you want to create from this point on. We are meant to experience all of the things, and I want you to just allow that to be your truth. When we begin to get stuck, that's when we personally or collectively decide to label or deem an emotion or a feeling as less than or undesirable. If you can think about the thoughts that we have created around sadness or grief or loneliness or shame, right? Either we've personally or collectively gotten really good at deeming that as something that I don't want to feel, that that's not something that feels good. I want to push that down in a way, because if I allow that in, it doesn't feel good. Right. And what we're starting to learn is that the only way through those emotions and feelings is to go inward towards them, because the more we push them down, the more we start to build this enormous pile of things that we have to eventually look at, right? And so allowing ourselves to just be in that space of deep compassion, of allowing what's coming up to come up, and to just be really gentle with ourselves in this process, knowing that we are doing something really beautiful for ourselves. So again, referencing back to this book, The Inner Work, in this, and I want to really start to introduce you to some of the concepts that are there. And they state that, the standards that we have accepted regarding our freedom, our joy, and our happiness are simply that. And this is what we're coming back to, right? That they are just simply accepted. We have accepted them as our truth, meaning that they're not being forced or applied from outside of us. They're all self-created through our consciousness, and therefore can be self-edited or replaced entirely, which is such a beautiful truth to come back to. That yes, maybe this is a feeling or a thought that keeps circling back in my mind. What is it that it's here to teach me, and how can I start to heal that, and then begin to replace it entirely with something that is so much more meaningful and helps me grow as a human, right? And helps me just be in that innate truth of joy and happiness that we all have coming for us, right? That it's there waiting. We can change and mold our experience of life to whatever we desire, which is so beautiful. Absolutely nothing is withheld. And there is no shortage of perspectives or opportunities. And that is the truth, right? The first step is to truly just simply start believing and owning that you are worthy of all that you desire, all that you are seeking. You were born to be happy and free. I was born to be happy and free. We all were. This is our birthright. And when we can start to take that back and own that as our truth, that's when the magic starts to bubble up, right? It doesn't matter what your life looks like right now, where you are, what is happening, because you always were and always will be worthy of experiencing infinite joy and love and freedom in your life. You have to understand, though, that again, no one else can give this to you. Only you can. This is a sacred and precious gift that you have to honor and give to yourself, right? That you have to start to open up to, so that you can allow all that is readily available to flow in, right? The inner work that we are getting ready to step into together, it is a deeply divine process in my eyes, that is a solo mission that we are going to walk together, but only you can realize the truth of who you really are. Only you can be yourself. Only you can start to do this work. I will be so honored and happy to guide you through this together. But I do want you to really take the ownership for yourself, knowing that this is, again, one of the greatest gifts that you can give to yourself and to those in your life, your family, your loved ones. Really taking that as such a beautiful opportunity. So, what is it that your life, in the light and truth of your awareness, what is it that your life is showing you? What can it begin to show you, and start to bubble up? And again, I want you to like have that vision of the onion, and as you start to peel back the layers of your existence, what do you begin to see beneath the surface of your life? What are some of the things that, out of survival and protection of yourself, you have either consciously or unconsciously pushed down, right? Beginning to become aware of your thoughts. Notice from the seat of the observer. So often we so deeply associate with the thoughts that are happening in our mind that we get pulled or attached to, almost like sticky glue, that we just run with the thoughts, that we go with them. And I want you to really start to cultivate a space of sitting back, sort of like we were talking about before, that panoramic view, zooming out with your lens so that you can see all that's happening, so that we don't get so completely and deeply attached. Notice your thoughts as simply that, because thoughts are not real or concrete. They are simply a form of virtual reality that we have created in our mind, that is running on rinse and repeat, right? A thought is just something that is there, that is moving through. It is not a reality. And when we can start to step back and dissociate from that this is not my truth or real, this is simply a thought, then we start to begin to take the ownership and power back into our lives. We get to choose if we follow the thought without attachment or if we simply let it move through, right? I often like to think of the visual of sitting on a riverbank and there are leaves falling from a beautiful oak tree. And I like to think of the leaves as our thoughts. And if we can just notice the leaves starting to float down, not having to run over and grab it or collect the leaves and put them in our satchel, right? Just notice them, sit back from the riverbank and watch the leaves fall, let them hit the water, notice them, see what's showing up, but then simply let them start to roll down the river, moving through, right? We have the ability to do that. So often we forget that that is our truth, that we are not our thoughts. We are not the commentary in our mind, because if we were, we wouldn't be able to observe it, right? If you think about it from that seat, if you can sit in the space of, if this is me, how can I hear it? Right? If this is me that I'm saying all of these things, how can I be in the seat of the observer noticing that now? Start to take that in, start to really own that, because that's when we start to begin to make a change. And as we begin to explore this together, I again want you to add an extra dose of grace and ease throughout this entire process, remembering that you are not alone. Each and every one of us are going through this in some respect, that we are all walking the walk of humanity together. And also remembering the truth that anything is possible for you, starting today, starting right now in this moment. Own that in your heart. Hold that so deep for yourself. Remember that. As we start to continue to do the training, it might be really useful to grab a journal, have something close by that you can start to just take notes of what's coming up so that you can come back and really start to investigate what it is that's coming up for you. Our first exercise together is a really beautiful introspective connection that we're going to do together. And so what I want you to do is I want to invite you just to find a comfortable seat wherever you're at. If you are driving, please don't close your eyes, but just start to allow the words to come in. If you're at home and you have the opportunity to sort of settle back on your bed or in a chair or wherever it is that you're comfortable, just take a moment to do that now. Bring the journal with you, have it close by just so that you can start to jot some things down once we come back into the room together. So as you get yourself comfortable, I just want you to find your seat and I just want you to rest back into that. And I want you to gently close your eyes. And I want you to just rest in this moment, knowing that you are taking time, you're making an investment to deeply care for yourself in the most beautiful way possible. I honor you for that. I honor you for being here. I honor you for to walk this walk together. And I just want you to start to rest back in that truth. And as you allow your body to relax, I want you to just allow a nice, deep, slow breath to enter into your lungs now. As you breathe in, I want you to hold that breath at the top for just a moment. And then I want you to begin to slowly release the breath out, exhaling all the air fully from your lungs. Beautiful. And again, I want you to take a nice deep breath in, breathing in all the opportunity and possibility and love and joy. Hold that at the top. And then I want you to release it slowly again, releasing all that's holding you back, releasing any hesitation or fear that's coming up, letting that simply release. Good. One more breath in. Filling your breath, filling the lungs, letting everything expand. And then just simply breathe and exhale all of the air out. And then I just want you to find a natural breath. Just come back to your breath. Just be with that now. Simply breathe. Noticing that we don't have to work to be here, that our bodies are such a majestic and magical creation, that they are able to keep us alive. Our lungs are moving in and out, letting the breath move in and out of our system. Allow yourself to just be in awe of that. And just breathe, just be, just sit in that truth. Beautiful. And as we come into this space together, I invite you to just simply begin to become aware of your thoughts. Whatever it is that's coming up, I want you to allow them to start to bubble up. Notice what's showing up for you. And then simply sit in the seat of the observer. I want you to notice the thoughts that are coming in and moving out as you would notice a gentle breeze coming up on your skin. Feel the ability to let it enter in, be there for a moment, and then release. Not judging or labeling any thoughts, anything that's showing up, just noticing. Continue to sit in that space, allowing your thoughts to flow in and out. Whatever it is that works in your mind, noticing it as the leaf that's gently floating down the riverbank. If it's the breeze that moves in and out, whatever it is, create the picture in your mind now to allow the thought to move in gently and then to simply release out. So often we resist just sitting with ourselves, just being in a moment of quiet, in a moment of reflection. A lot of times we're afraid of what might come up, what feelings might surface, what emotions might arise, not realizing that the resistance itself is actually what's keeping us stuck. Some of you may have heard before the quote, "What you resist persists." So much truth in that. What we resist to feel, what we resist to actually begin to bring to our awareness and see, keeps coming back up. It shows itself again so that we can actually see what it is, notice it, and begin to heal all that's coming to be healed. So I invite you to consider how you can begin to allow all that you're feeling, all that you're experiencing, allow it so that you can embody it and simply let it be part of your human experience. Allow the thoughts and the feelings to be our teachers, showing us where we are in these old programmed or habitual patterns so that we can begin to look beneath what arises and begin to heal ourselves and then heal those around us, right? It's the ripple effect. As we begin to do the work in ourselves, others start to notice, and we start to cultivate a new way of being that gets others curious about what's going on. What are you doing differently, right? How are you showing up for yourself? And as you continue to sit in this moment, just notice, is there any resistance surfacing? Do you feel the sensation of discomfort, or are thoughts of judgment starting to enter in? Is your mind starting to want to run through your to-do list, reworking the entire day ahead or the day that you just lived internally as it's actively grasping for a sense of control? Notice if that's coming up. It's all completely normal and natural. And then come back again to the ability and the ownership to begin to allow the thoughts to simply enter in and then move through. I want to begin to allow the seat of the observer to come back into your psyche, being in that space of simply witnessing. No judgment, noticing it all, experiencing it all, letting it simply be. Begin to get curious about what's popping up. Notice if there's something that I like to call a repeat offender. Get curious about what this might be showing up to teach us. Look at all that is surfacing as a teacher, as a guide, a mentor, to unlock what's deep beneath the surface that for many has been there since we were a really young child, before we even knew, before we were old enough to even understand, right? Letting that just bubble up here. One of my mentors once shared with me that the only way through is in. The only way through the healing, the witnessing, the ability to start to cultivate who it is that we really want to show up as in the world is to go within. Allow yourself to go there now. How can you begin to just allow yourself to simply drop in and be with all that is being shown without attachment and just to become aware? Whatever you're feeling, whatever you're experiencing now, I want you to just allow your breath to simply go into that space. If you're feeling it in your heart, breathe there. If you're feeling it in your belly, I want you to take a nice deep breath in there. If fear is surfacing, simply breathe. Fear is only excitement without the breath. I'm going to repeat that. Really hear that. Fear is excitement because we know what's beneath that. We know the opportunity that's available for us. It is excitement without the breath. So send your breath directly into that part of your body where you were feeling anything arising. Breathe into it. Allow yourself to allow the mobility to come in, knowing that it's all energy, right? Fear is a space of energy that starts to feel stuck and stagnant, right? Excitement starts to expand and open and see the possibilities. Breathe into that now. Keep your breath. Remember, like in your heart, in your soul, I want you to remember that the first step is believing that you are worthy of all that you are seeking. You, we, I, each of us were born to be happy and truly free. Each of us were. Remembering it doesn't matter what your life looks like right now. You always were and always will be worthy of experiencing infinite joy, love, freedom, and ease in your life. And I want you to understand and remember the truth that this is your birthright and that you are the one that can give yourself this gift. No one else can, right? We are on a solo mission together, collectively, doing our own work to start to actualize your true self. Only you can realize that truth of who you really are. Only you can set yourself free. Breathe into this truth now. Allow your body to simply rest in this knowing and allow it in and wrap yourself in it like you would a cozy blanket. Nourish yourself in this truth. Just continue to connect to your breath. And I want you to ask yourself, now that I'm learning these truths, now that I'm remembering, what's possible for me? I want you to begin to allow and receive those gentle nudges that are coming through. That's your soul calling you to your truth. It's reminding you of all that's possible for you. If you didn't know, ask what might be showing up. If anything were possible, if that truth, right? If you knew that the universe were going to support you in anything that your soul was calling you to, what would you go for? what would you start to create? What would you stop accepting in your life as something that is not cultivating you into the person that you are really meant to be? What would you refuse to allow in, right? What values and truths would you hold deeply in your soul so that you could start to really beautifully create something new and amazing for yourself? If you knew that anything were possible and that you knew that you would succeed, what's showing up for you? And I want you to remember in your heart of hearts, speaking to that little girl within, that you are worthy of all of this. You are worthy of infinite love, joy, and freedom. They are ready and waiting for you. You just simply have to pick them up. And I'd like to just inquire and ask, will you choose that self for yourself today? Will you choose that for yourself in this moment? I want you to bring your hands stacked upon one another to your heart. And I want you to feel your heart beneath you, feel your skin connecting with your breath, knowing that you hold the power in your heart and in your hands to begin to create anything that you desire. The sky is the limit as we begin to heal and nurture these parts of yourself that can then release. Imagine all the space that you have available for you, that you can invite in all the beauty that's waiting. Hold that in your hands, hold that in your heart now. Know the truth deeply. Beautiful. And then I just want you to connect with the breath again, beneath your hands, feeling the rise and the fall of your chest. Again, remembering the sheer magic of being a human on this earth. Feeling your breath, allowing your body to slowly come back into the room, allowing the light in. And then I just want you to sit and be for a moment. Feeling your breath, noticing what might have come up for you, honoring yourself for taking a moment just to be with yourself, giving yourself that gift. Good, beautiful sisters. Yes. This is a deepening practice that is one of truly befriending ourselves, remembering our innocence and becoming aware of how much the external world has suggested and encouraged and asked us to believe about ourselves. Coming back to this moment, coming back home to ourselves helps us remember what's truly possible and available in our lives. And this practice is going to begin to bring you back to your truth. As we begin together to open this door of awareness and light, we begin to allow that truth to come through. We begin to shine the light on our truth. And collectively, we do that together in such a beautiful way, knowing in our heart of hearts that each of us are walking the walk together, that we are not alone. And that is the beautiful aspect of sisterhood, even though we can't be together in presence in physical form, that we are cultivating the truth together and doing this inner work collectively. When you begin to feel the tug of the outside world come in, I want you to come back to this practice. Come back to your truth. You have this available for you now. Being able to sit back in that, remembering, allowing yourself to cultivate all it is that you know is coming for you and ready and waiting. I am so grateful to have shared this first day with you, to start to bring awareness into our hearts, into our minds, starting to pull back the veil And I want to remind you this beautiful message that I like to share is that you already have all that you need inside of you right now. The answers are there, they're waiting for you, and they're simply waiting for your invitation. They want to be invited in, right? And I want you to continue to give yourself the gift of deeply listening and trust that all that you will be led to, that you are opening up opportunities that are greater than your wildest dreams. The first step to any type of transition, transformation, or change is awareness. Continue to allow the eye of curiosity, the heart of compassion, and the truth of your heart to lead you through this journey together. I am so honored to be here with you today. Thank you for spending your morning, your afternoon, your evening, whatever it was, wherever we came together. I am so honored to be able to share that with you. I can't wait to see you for day 2 and bring you all of the beautiful, beautiful things that are coming through for us together, my friends, my sisters. I will see you tomorrow, sending you so much love and peace from my heart to your heart. See you tomorrow. Wow.